Let's not waste time sugarcoating. You've probably chalked up some of your quirks to just being human. But what if the things you consider normal, the tiny habits, the weird little rituals, the overthinking, the just my anxiety moments, are actually neon signs from your brain flashing, "Help." This isn't about labels or making you feel broken. This is about understanding what your behaviors might really mean when no one's watching. Let's talk about the patterns we normalize that are actually signs of something deeper, because just being human might be your brain waving a white flag. Here are 10 normal behaviors that are actually signs of mental illness. Number 10, the disaster director. You make one tiny mistake at work, a typo, a missed comma, and suddenly you're mentally unemployed, evicted, and fighting raccoons behind a gas station for a crusty piece of garlic bread. Or maybe your friend doesn't reply for 2 hours and your brain has already attended their funeral twice and drafted a revenge speech for their ghost. This is catastrophic thinking. It's like having a personal director in your head who only makes disaster films. And guess what? You're always the doomed protagonist. Your brain doesn't just imagine worst-case scenarios, it lives them, vividly. You feel the failure, taste the rejection, mourn the loss, all before anything's even happened. What's really going on? This is your brain's overactive threat detection system. It's trying to protect you, poorly. Instead of saying, "Let's be cautious," it screams, "The end is nigh," every time the Wi-Fi lags. It can stem from trauma, anxiety disorders, or deeply internalized fear of not being enough. And while it feels like being prepared, it's often just your brain panicking in high definition. You're not overly dramatic. You're living with a brain that's been taught to brace for impact, even when the sky is clear. If this one hit hard, just wait for the next. Number 9, the people-pleasing puppet show. You say yes when you're screaming no inside. You smile when you're burning out. You apologize for existing in group chats. Sound familiar? This isn't just being nice. It's being wired to please so you won't be abandoned, so you won't be disliked, so you won't be punished emotionally, socially, or silently. It's like being a marionette, constantly reading the room, adjusting your volume, shrinking your needs, and performing like your self-worth depends on the applause, because somewhere along the line you were taught that being yourself was too risky. This is often linked to rejection sensitivity, trauma bonding, or growing up in environments where love was conditional. You became a shapeshifter, not because you're fake, but because your nervous system equates authenticity with danger. But let's be real. Chronically pleasing others is just another form of self-erasure. You don't exist to make other people comfortable. And if saying no gives you heart palpitations, maybe it's not just politeness, maybe it's a scar. Still with me? Good. It gets even more uncomfortable. Number 8, rituals that rule you. You check the lock once, twice, 8 times. You touch your bag, keys, wallet in a certain order before leaving. You can't sleep unless your pillows are in perfect formation, like tiny fabric soldiers guarding your mental stability. This isn't just preference, this is compulsion, and it's exhausting. Obsessive-compulsive behaviors don't always look like what you've seen on TV. They're not always neat freaks or germaphobes. Sometimes it's rituals, silent, repetitive, mentally binding. It's the voice that says, if you don't do this exactly right, something bad will happen. It's control in a world that feels wildly out of it. And the kicker? The relief is always temporary. The anxiety roars back. The ritual deepens. The loop tightens. This isn't you being particular. This is your brain trying and failing to self-soothe. And no, you're not crazy. You're surviving a loop you didn't sign up for. Still think you're just quirky? Number 7, emotional flatline mode. You used to laugh. Like really laugh. Now your favorite food tastes like cardboard. Your favorite song? Meh. Your best friend announces their engagement and you feel nothing. You think, maybe I'm just growing up. Or, maybe I'm tired. Maybe. Or maybe your joy circuit is fried. This is called anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure. It's a core symptom of depression and burnout. And it's terrifying because it doesn't always come with tears, just silence. A slow erosion of meaning. You're not sad. You're numb, and numbness is harder to fight because it's invisible. There's no cry for help, no breakdown, just a quiet disappearance of interest. You tell yourself to snap out of it, but it's not a mood, it's a malfunction. And the worst part? You fake the joy so no one asks questions, so you don't become the burden. But here's the truth. You're not broken, you're depleted, and depletion needs restoration, not shame. Number 6, the overthinking Olympics. You replay conversations in your head like an anxious sportscaster. You edit your texts 3 times before sending, then reread them 5 times after, then panic when the response doesn't come in 2.6 seconds. You walk away from interactions convinced you sounded stupid. You analyze facial expressions like a human lie detector. You apologize for things no one even noticed. This is rumination on steroids, a key symptom of anxiety and trauma response. It's not harmless, it's mental torture dressed in productivity. Your brain thinks it's helping, solving, preparing, fixing, when really, it's dragging you through an emotional interrogation room you didn't deserve. The truth? You're not too sensitive. You're scanning for danger because you've been hurt before. You're trying to be perfect because perfection feels like protection. But your brain needs rest, not a constant courtroom drama. Number 5, the validation junkie. Do you think they're mad at me? Are you sure I'm not annoying? Just checking. You still like me, right? You don't want to be needy, but you need to be sure. And even when you get reassurance, it melts away like cheap soap. So you ask again, and again. You Google symptoms, reread messages, search their tone for any sign of disgust or distance. This is reassurance seeking, and it's not attention seeking. It's survival mode. It's your brain saying, if I can just confirm everything's okay, I can breathe. Except you never really breathe, do you? Because the relief is always fleeting. The doubt always returns. This pattern is common in anxiety, OCD, and trauma survivors. It's a loop where certainty is a mirage, and the more you chase it, the more it runs. You don't need constant validation. You need internal safety, the kind that doesn't depend on someone else's mood. Still think your neediness is a flaw? Number 4, physical habits with emotional roots. You bite your nails until they bleed, pick your skin without realizing, twirl your hair, crack your knuckles, scratch, pull, fidget. You call them bad habits. But what if they're actually cries for help? These are body-focused repetitive behaviors, BFRBs, self-soothing mechanisms your body uses when your brain can't calm itself. They're linked to anxiety, trauma, ADHD, and obsessive thinking. They're not just habits, they're coping strategies. You might not even notice you're doing it, only the aftermath, pain, embarrassment, shame. But you're not gross or weird. You're in a loop your body uses to survive what your mind can't escape. Number 3, the decision paralysis trap. Ever scroll Netflix for 40 minutes and watch nothing? Stand in the cereal aisle until security checks on you? Delay emails, texts, life? Not because you're lazy, but because choosing feels like torture? That's decision paralysis, when your brain treats simple choices like bomb defusal. You're not flaky. You're afraid. Afraid of choosing wrong. Afraid of regret. Afraid that one decision could unravel your entire life. This often shows up in anxiety, perfectionism, and people with trauma histories. Indecision isn't the absence of willpower. It's the presence of fear dressed in analysis, and it's exhausting. Number 2, burnout disguised as productivity. You keep going, even when you're exhausted. You overbook, overcommit, overfunction. You're the strong one, the reliable one, the one who gets things done, even when you're breaking inside. Burnout doesn't always look like collapse. Sometimes it looks like achievement on fire. You're not thriving. You're surviving efficiently. And underneath that success, chronic anxiety, fear of rest, fear of failure. It's not ambition, it's self-preservation. Rest isn't laziness, it's resistance. Number 1, fake laughing through the pain. You make people laugh. You're the fun one. You downplay everything with a joke. You mask your pain with sarcasm, storytelling, and memes at 2 a.m. Humor is your armor, but sometimes humor is hiding something. The class clown has panic attacks. The chill friend cries in the shower. The one who seems fine, they're not. Smiling depression, high-functioning anxiety. They wear masks so good even you believe them, but you feel it late at night. The echo, the ache. It's okay to be the comic relief, but not if it's your only way to feel safe. So how many of these felt familiar? Here's the thing. These aren't flaws. They're defense mechanisms, trauma echoes, nervous system alarms. Your brain is trying to protect you in the only way it knows how. But protection isn't the same as peace. And recognizing these patterns, that's the first step toward healing. You don't need to fix yourself overnight. You just need to see yourself clearly, because you're not broken, you're brilliant and bruised, and that's allowed. If this hit a little too close to home, you're not alone. Subscribe for more self-awareness, dark psychology, and emotional truth bombs without the fluff. Next time, we'll talk about subtle ways you push people away without realizing it. Until then, take care of your mind. It's been carrying you longer than you know.